Jae S. List staff: Photographer Dallas Cowboys quarterbacks Dak Prescott 4, Cooper Rush 7, Mike White 3, and Dalton Sturm stretch on the field during a warm-up of the preseason game against San Francisco 49ers at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California, Thursday, August 9, 2018. Jae S. List. The Dallas Morning News, FRISCO. After watching all of rookie minicamp, organized team activities, minicamp, 3 weeks of training camp and 2 preseason games, it's time to update the Cowboys' final roster projection. Teams are currently allowed to have 90 players on their roster. By September 1st those will need to be trimmed to 53. Here's a prediction for the final 53 spots. Quarterback 3, Dak Prescott and Cooper Rush are locked into the starter and backup roles. Although the Cowboys typically only keep 2 quarterbacks, like most teams, Mike White makes the final cut. They spent a 5th-round pick on him in April. If White is cut, in an attempt to get him over to the practice squad, there's a good chance another team will grab him. Dak Prescott, Cooper Rush, Mike White running back 4, going with 3 traditional running backs and a fullback here. Tavon Austin can carry the ball as well, but it's clear that he'll be utilized as mostly a receiver. Bo Scarborough has the edge for the final spot. He has impressed in training camp and the preseason, although he suffered a hip injury Saturday night. Darius Jackson, who the Cowboys drafted in the 6th round in 2016, is Scarborough's closest competition for that final RB spot. Ezekiel Elliott, Rod Smith, Bo Scarborough, Jamize Olawale, tight end 3, yes, Rico Gathers did not make the list. He has turned in some impressive highlight grabs over the last few preseasons, but it's sounding like the Cowboys could be ready to move on. It's possible that Dallas ends up keeping 4 tight ends and the 4th is either not currently on the roster or Gathers changes their minds over the next 2 weeks. Jeff Swaim, Blake Jarwin, Dalton Schultz, wide receiver at 6. The final spot will come down to Lance Lenoir, Noah Brown and Deonte Thompson. The Cowboys really like all 3, but Brown and Thompson haven't been able to participate much because of injuries. Lenoir has pulled ahead by turning in a very good training camp. Cole Beasley, Tavon Austin, Allen Hurns, Michael Gallup, Terrence Williams, Lance Lenoir. Offensive line 9. Before the Marcus Martin injury, I was convinced the Cowboys could get by with only 8. That's no longer the case. They'll go with 9 and I think the final spot goes to a player currently not on the roster: Tyron Smith, Zach Martin, Travis Frederick, La'el Collins, Connor Williams, Cameron Fleming, Joe Looney, Kadeem Edwards. Player not on current roster. Special teams 3, Dan Bailey has been solid in training camp. LP Ladouceur is entering his 14th season as the team's long snapper. Chris Jones has been Dallas' only punter since 2013. All 3 continue to be among the best in the league at their respective positions: Dan Bailey, Chris Jones, LP Ladouceur. Defensive line 10. As long as Randy Gregory can stay eligible, his talent will be difficult to keep off the field. We've already seen in training camp and Saturday night's preseason game that the Cowboys would like to get him on the field in pass rushing situations, moving Tyrone Crawford inside to the 3-tech DT spot. Normally, I'd go with 6 ends and 4 tackles, but it just fell this way. Defensive ends Coney Ealy and Charles Tapper are also still possibilities. DeMarcus Lawrence, Tyrone Crawford, Randy Gregory, Taco Charlton, Dorrance Armstrong, Maliak Collins, Jihad Ward, Datone Jones, Antoine Woods, Brian Price. Linebacker 6. The Cowboys feel very good about this group, believing it's one of the best they've had in a while. When healthy, they have the right combination to provide defensive depth and also have a significant impact on special teams. Sean Lee, Jalen Smith, Leighton Vander Esch, Damian Wilson, Joe Thomas, Justin March, Lillard. Cornerback 5. It's sounding more and more like 5 is going to be the final number here. Duke Thomas, who gets the last spot, played well enough to make the 53-man roster last year, but he injured his foot and knee in the preseason and spent the entire year on injured reserve. Chidobe Awuzie, Byron Jones, Anthony Brown, Jordan Lewis. Duke Thomas. Safety 4. Most figured the Cowboys would add a safety at some point during the draft, either picking one or trading for All-Pro Earl Thomas. Neither has happened, so there's a wide-open roster spot available. Dallas could still fill it by getting a deal done with Seattle for Thomas or by signing a veteran free agent, Jeff Heath, Xavier Woods, Kevin Frazier, player not on current roster.